Hello there. And as we see a Panther turret encased in concrete, with a demo charge next to it, we start game 2, finding that Nagano is 1-0 up in this best of 3 series for an extra $100 and an extra 2 Master League points. His opponent, Lovenest, as the Wehrmacht. Will you repeat yesterday's successes in that game 2 against Isildur on this very same map, Ed?
Yeah, we saw a bit of a stamina issue yesterday from Loveness. It seemed to put it all into that fantastic game 2 against Dusseldorf, the best of 3 series, and he's going to need the same again today. It's the same faction, the same side of the map for him, with his Oster, the beloved Oster, few new commanders, even Leltruppen at his disposal if he goes for it, but it seems already, if you haven't insta-spammed that doctrine, I don't think you'll be selecting that, but I love the other commanders he has on show. And Nico has Monkey See, Monkey Do copied Loveness's last strat and gone for the old IS2 commander as well.
Yeah, it's not a bad one, to be honest. And the KV8 would be hype on this map. I don't think you'd want to crush these hedgerows if you're Soviets. You probably want to keep them intact, but you could just come bursting through and recreate the Master League Tournament 4 kind of hype vignette thing. Stinger, that's what the pros call it. Just torch the Germans. Well, of course, I don't know if you spotted it, guys, but I did make all the infantry Osttruppen for that Stinger, just to take out some frustration on behalf of the community.
Yeah, it's seen enough of them. It's glorious just to get new strats and new metas and new builds now in this game mode. So that's really appreciated, man. But also, what would be appreciated for me in this game is Nico actually uses any of that shock rifle doctrine, because Loveness, I think, just completely whiffed on it, and we only ever saw him use the incendiary barrage from that whole doctrine, which was strange. And I think Nico has gone into cons map, so already different plan to deal with the austere threat, and we could see some shock troops to back up them beautiful cons later on.
Yeah, we certainly could. Maybe exploiting those hedgerows to their best use. MG's looking low. It's a nice flank. Combat Engineers in on the action. Grenadiers come to back up. Drawing on a well of resistance there. Check out the north there, where we got Combat Engineer versus Pioneer in a tale as old as time. Who will win this installment? The 500,000th installment of Worker Battles 2021.
Dig, dig, chop, chop. Oh, well, people always get the first blood, so I think they will be winning it. And they came swinging around that blind corner, so definitely helped out there. Good movement there from Loveness. Not having the Pioneer squad near the MG42, though. Very rare from him, but made it work out. And MG42 luckily doesn't have too much HP damage, Matt. You know when your models respawn or reinforce, so you're always kind of wishing, like, oh, hopefully they got some good HP to go back out and fight again, and the MG42 crew definitely has that this time.
Cut off taken by Lovenest. Meanwhile, Combat Engineers are stuck between a rock and a hard place. In the north, conscripts are trying to get round the sides. There's a bit of green cover there, so they're probably going to go up here and fire on the edge. And let's check out this cut-off, see if he can hold it.
Yep, and using the green cover against Nico. He'll be raging about that sandbag now, because unlike most other sandbags, the conscript sandbag's more than big enough for the 4-man Gren squad or Volks, so really is rough when it's used against you as the allies.
Actually, 3 engagements that are going on right now. It's all a stalemate with this heavy cover, giving them a damage received and accuracy received boost, of course. Conscripts close the gap. They're looking to pay for fuel in blood, just like Bush and Blair.
Yeah, but good push off there with the flamethrower from Nico. Finally, he's going to get his connecting points back, and there he goes up to 23 fuel a minute again. So he's back on track, but that was a nice little push there from Loveness. It's pretty hard as Austere without Osttruppen to get aggressive in the early game, but I like that push there down south from the German.
Indeed, and the conscripts, by the way, were denying a little bit of fuel from Loveness, so I think overall he has gotten more fuel out of his Soviet opponents, but it is all quiet out there. I think we've got anticipation for this one, Ed. I think we're reserving ourselves a little bit. We've got a big day today as well, guys. If you don't know. We've got a best of 5 grand final between the 2 best players in the world today, as proven by this tournament, Seeking and Silda.
Yeah, and the best of 3 for 3rd place ain't too bad either, with Nagano and Loveness, 2 household names of the Code 2 community. Tawny players, and we see double cap here for Loveness. Paced ahead a bit, definitely on the munitions count. That is almost an LMG per minute. He did have 58, but now it's ticked back to 40, 42 a minute. But that's great news as an austere player, getting all that munitions early. And there we go, double LMG pop on the Grenadiers for Loveness.
And I think everybody will agree when they're arguing that Grenadiers are UP. Grenadiers with LMGs on open maps, that's a different equation, eh? That's different. That's not a close quarter combat map, you know, where they're getting murked by shock troopers. That's a different story. They can set up, they've got good sight lines, and they can dominate with those LMGs.
Yeah, I mean, I would never say they're underpowered myself. It's just how you use them, like any other unit. But they got less cheese potential, just as basic Grens with the LMG upgrade than other frontline infantry in this current patch. But here we go, big engagement in the north. Surround and pound of these LMG Grens. Get pretty low HP. It's got to think about running back home in case these conscripts do hit their shots.
Notice what Loveness did there. He used the focus fire of these 2 conscripts on the middle Gren to reposition that Gren. So you use what your opponent does in your favour to get to a better position of advantage before the retreat. So all these tactical gunfight mechanics that separate the good players from the baddies, basically.
Yeah, interesting push in with the Pyros into 3 squads, but does force a retreat of 1 conscript, so hashtag worth, I'm sure, from Loveness fans as the 2-2s and already built, ready to go at the 6 to 7 minute mark. Oh, nice snow-capped skin as well for us, as it was snowing here in the UK today.
It has been, yeah. I took the dogs out over the fields and the hills this morning. It was lovely. Reminded me of Bayo winter, actually. Awesome.
Just plotting your retreat path in case.
Yeah, I was like, Mum, down, a sniper! Totally didn't see my mum during lockdown, Ed, in a field. That did not happen. Please don't call the police. Anyway, I've shown the mechanized commander. What's it called? Sorry, German mechanized, to be completely sure. It has command. I think he's going to go for this. I reckon it'd be lovely to get some smoke bomb action as well. That'd be pretty.
And it's got the spawning scopes that were so loved. Yesterday, I saw some of the YouTube comments, Matt, on your videos. People having their view on them, but yeah, they're pretty hard to utilize. The vehicle's got to be stationary for them to be in effect, and you got to have veterancy on. Tough unit to keep alive in the 2-2, so if anyone can do it though, Loveness can, as the T70 from Nico straight out, so I think the pack gun for Loveness definitely the next priority in his build list.
It's gotta be a Wehrmacht player without a pack. Might as well just GG out of the situation. I can't make it rhyme, so I've failed, but
There was the no sweeper though for Nico, and it does look a bit risky. No tellers I've seen, but it is a bit risky not having any sweeper still. He doesn't know the symmetry and information. He is in his dilemma style. He doesn't know Loveness hasn't put any tellers down, but I think he can just read from the 3 LMGs upgrades himself that probably hadn't had the munis to do it.
Seemingly not, but yeah, that's a classic code dilemma, isn't it? You see 3 LMGs and you know your T70's safe. It's been a tournament fixture for half a decade almost, I would predict, something like that. Shock troopers coming on the north side. You've got combat engineers with the flamethrower and the minesweeper. There it is, Ed. That's what we wanted to see. T70 doing some work, gets a kill, gets some health damage on the grenadiers, forces them away, importantly. But let's check out what else is happening with shock troops flanking this squad.
Yeah, this is what I felt really needed to be hammered home from Loveness when he was his doctrine last game. Shock troops on this map can be hella useful, especially controlling VPs with the smoke, being able to flank and deal with the MG42. And yeah, looking to see some good impact from there. Already getting a cut-off for Nico.
T70 doing work against the Pioneer. Got backup as well, covering for him. We don't have 18-8, so the 2-2-2s, well, it's going to be thwarted by the T-70 anyway. It'll be safe within its defensive zone. Pack 40, making its way up north rather predictably. This cedes the entirety of the south to Nagano, because Loveness is going to have to use all of these weapon systems in overlapping arcs of defense to protect one another, of course. And yeah, he's going to be one side of the map or the other for a while.
Yeah, one point of interest as I look at the top right of the screen, Loveness's build. It is 4 Grens with all LMGs. There's been no Panzer Grenadier usage from Loveness on this map, so it's gone for that big wide open engagements with the LMGs. Try and pick off Nico at long range, but against conscripts backed up with a shock troop, I don't know, I still feel like there could be that wham bam, thank you ma'am, bundle nade need from Loveness. This gives a bit more wipe potential for the Austin.
4 LMGs of the Grenpocalypse are upon us, and Loveness is going to be dominating those late game engagements, especially if he keeps this. If we get to Vet 3 with these things, they're badass. Forces away the conscripts, they back away, and Loveness is holding his own. Let's think where Nagano is going from there. We haven't given enough attention to his teching. Of course, got Tankovi, he's got a good amount of fuel. And commander-wise, of course, IS-2 or maybe even KV-8 Flamer, probably IS-2 in the long run, one would expect.
Yeah, it's just cards are all in Loveness's hand in terms of commanders, so probably not going to see Ostrippin. We can cut that one out, but still 2 very useful commanders he could put in. Maybe he's just going to wait to see if his 2-2 reaches Vet 2, and then he might lock in the spot and scopes for that further buff. But yeah, big long assault here from the double Grens in the mid. T-70 though, more than up to the task at Vet 1.
These Grenadiers need to get 2 kills for every man they lose. Will they be able to do that? Oh, we've got the overshot from the pack trying to attack, but they're certainly pushing away units. Look at the combat engineers get shredded by them. Second MG42 out, so that's now 6 MG42s of the heavy and light varieties. Yeah,
with LMG Grens, you don't get that big all-in spike of damage like P-Grens can offer, but you do get a lot of damage over time, and if Nico sleeps on any of that, could find himself caught out, especially with the squishy combat engineers. But yeah, it's some juicy mines in the mid. If Loveness, like you just saw there, Matt, no, he opts to retreat back. No 2-man capping. He's learned
I was worried. I was very worried. Oh, and then he just, did you see the camera shudder? That's when I know a mine's gone off. I can't hear it, but the camera just shakes a tiny bit. And that's what means 2 Grenadiers have died, and Nagano using the Macabre winter volleyball system that you can see through, by the way. So,
ooh,
didn't know
like
that.
The shining hedges.
They are, yeah. You're gonna find Jack Nicholson dead next to them, yeah.
Charge it down a 2-2 with an axe. But no, Loveness has clicked the ability, and he will have spotting scopes at his disposal this game.
Oh, and look at this vision. Let's get on board with our spy satellite. And just look at this. As soon as he pops around that hedgerow, look how much he can see all the way down past the victory point. And growing. This thing's ridiculous. Sees the AT gun. Backs away. His radio shall not be silenced this game.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough match for Nico. Like all the home comforts of Loveness. He can use his TAC map again. He's back on his austere faction. It's going to be a tough one to prize this game off, but Nico set himself up for every chance. As this gun we saw barraging earlier, that thing is disgusting squad wipe material, especially against 4-man Gren squads, so it's going to have to utilize all the support weapons well here to keep Loveness pinned.
It's very much kind of reticent of a microcosm of World War II. When it's going well for the German army, it's when they've got nice long open sight lines, plenty of time to prepare. But when it's made a dirty, nasty battle with espionage and close quarter fighting, that's when it goes wrong. So this is them on the step in
flying
their
out of every building.
Yeah, that's it. Dogs with mines on their backs.
Definitely there's a few weaknesses for Austin, but they are that glorious kind of one-size-fits-all trousers faction where, you know, they've got a tool for everything.
They have.
So for new players, I'd always recommend probably focusing on Soviets and Austria first, and then cracking out to
Quite frankly, I think all purists would agree the Wehrmacht playstyle is the most attractive in the game because you have to use everything you've got to, like, in synergy with one another. Yeah, USF kind of do that a little bit too. Every faction does it a little bit, but nobody does it quite like the Wehrmacht, and that's not. I'm not speaking as a Vera, but just as a fan of Company of Heroes, really.
Who do you think are the most hated universally faction?
Brits.
Probably Brits, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
Brits
even
have
by Brits fans. It's just like,
if this is lateral
What a game.
gameplay, where you help all yourself, Brits are linear. It's the same every time. Tommies are just boring. Straight into AEC, straight into Cromwell or a Comet if you're doing well. And it's just boring. I love it when a Brit player gets sniped to death. That is my favourite thing.
But the OKW as well doesn't have much variety in the early build, whereas Oster, you could just go mental, you could do anything really and make it work. Especially with bunkers early game, I've seen that as a strat in auto match from a guy with 12,000 games. Yeah, they definitely have a lot of variety and choice and cool options.
I'm increasingly a fan of USF, Ed. That's probably my go-to in auto match right now myself, and I like watching it as well. It gets a little bit stale with mechanized in tournaments, but I like the fact that they are an asymmetric balance, which is a bit annoying, but you can kind of counteract it with your aggression. Let's keep an eye on this game though, Ed, because the shock troops are going in with the PPSHs. The 2-2 backs away. The Zis is in hot pursuit, and it looks like he's going to survive.
That's going to be good vision now from the 2-2. I think he needs to back it all the way into his base, though. This gun is lurking with intent, and yeah, that would not survive another shot there. Just popped for 2-2. Vet2, sorry.
Look at this, Ed. That's where he can see up to.
IR half track, yeah.
That was the thing I wanted to reply to. Somebody in YouTube said, spotting scopes are clearly overpowered. This is the only player that uses them in tournaments, and he's used it 3 times in 3 years.
And like I said, it's not easy to get a 2-2 to Vet2, and also you have to be stationary for the spawning scopes to work. So I don't... Yeah. I mean, Kotu to Orgs might argue differently, but I don't think they're OP. It's doctrinal as well. It's like 1 or 2 doctrines have it.
Yeah, I think situationally anything can look overpowered if used correctly. Just imagine that, Ed, if we had a clock in the top of our screen now, Blizzard approaching, all of this sight lines that Love Nest
I don't even
has.
see any fireplaces, so I don't think they even... Spanky probably didn't even have to put them in because they'll never be needed, but still a lot of maps have those little fireplaces on the snow maps, don't they?
They do.
From the Blizzard memories.
Well, can be happy to announce that we've got 2 competing tournament ideas from community members. That's going to be a Masterly kind of like minor or affiliate event in March. One does include Blizzard, so that's just a little bit of a teaser for you. Two competing concepts. So we'll have to wait and see which one wins. Patrons will have the ability to vote on them. So that's going to be pretty exciting.
Players must be like, what the hell is going on? I have to relearn so many things about this game or try. But yeah, AE's quest to find as many different world winners as we can within a year.
Yeah, you've got
It's
to.
nice to see different names.
If we
pop
made
up
this
on
super vanilla esports light, I think we'd have half the amount of patrons, to be honest. People want to see the players made uncomfortable, and this is going to make Nagano very uncomfortable. Le Professeur of Destruction is on the field. The Sturmpanzer, the Brumbear is here. I don't know why he's French, but he's French.
6 skid marks as well that he's leaving. Cruising on into town. That's going to be a big hammer blow for Nico's infantry. But he is countering it with his own anti-infantry destroyer of the KV-8.
Oh yes, here it comes, everybody. The guy that's in the Master League 4 credits, that Stinger video at the start of every tournament, is the Grenadiers are near death. They get around the green cover, they survive. It is indeed the Clement Virashilov Flamin' edition. That's right. He's here, and he's ready to burn your house down.
Yeah, can use either the flamethrower or the normal gun. Glorious tank, historically, and hell to deal with in terms of anti-tank vehicles. So, yep, there will be double pack, though, to protect the Bombar. So we're going to see a good old Tier 4 war map of the big boys. Finally in town.
Love it. I absolutely love it. Let's capture the moment that these two guys meet each other in combat for the first time. YouTube thumbnail time, I think. Oh, yes. Love it. Absolutely love it. A little bit of co-porn for you there, ladies and gentlemen, as the KV-8 is immediately fousted and packed out of the attack there. Meanwhile, T70 has hit 6 kills and counting, but there's 2 packs on the field. Going to keep Nagano very honest.
Yeah, 2-pack Shaquille. Pretty much the death sentence for that T70 if he sticks around, but he pops the recon and backs out in time. Good premonition there from Nico, and anticipation of his opponent's moves. Still comes back to eat one shot just for the giggles. But here we go. Brumbar coming back in. Matt can take on as his crew, but Nico just about 6 models helping out there as 2 just about survive, and the second Ziz is built in, so it's going to be double AT gun for both players. Gonna have to see some perhaps indirect with a Werfer or the left map. There's always an option for Loveness.
As Mickey Mouse once said, oh boy, this is getting really interesting. We've got a lot, our army sizes are increasing, the tension is increasing, it's palpable. And the players are ponderous right now, Ed. They're feeling one another out. They're jabbing, they're moving, they're trying to figure out what the other guy has, and then you will see a raging crescendo. I promise you that much. This is not going to be a 1 hour, 20-minute stalemate. The players are building their forces, and we're going to see some hot and heavy action.
I'm just so glad I'm not seeing Ostroupen every day as Wehrmacht. Still very grateful for that. As the pack 40 though, Vet2, great fire rate, gets 3 shots off on the KV8, but only 2 pen. But I think Loveness will take that, protects his Brumbar for now, whilst fixing on the front line, Matt. Balls to the wall style. There's doubles his now for Nico, 7-man cons creeping into the Tekken as well. It's all out. It's like 4 Grens versus 3 cons on the shocks. Beautiful infantry battles on show here today, as well as the live vehicles still both alive.
Yeah, Sanders got a point. Strumming Bird's comments in chat is very interesting. Both armies mirror one another right now. They've got a heavy anti-infantry death device, a recon vehicle in the 2-2. The T-70 does the same job, of course. If we go to the Fog of War for Nico's side, if Relic allows, there we go. It's a decent amount of... It's not exactly 2-2 levels, is it? It's a budget satellite. It's like one of the minor Asian nations throwing up a 1-token satellite and saying they're in the space race.
The GLA radar van, you know.
Yeah, it's not exactly GPS, but we'll let it count. And then double AT guns, of course. So both armies do mirror one another. So let's just pause the game and start it now. Who's going to win, Ed? We've got a set-piece matchup. It's like chess. We've got our bishops, our rooks, our knights, our pawns. Everybody's got the same stuff. 74, 76 on the pop cap, Ed. Might as well just start the game now.
Hella close, especially on the VP fronts. Bit tough for Loveness at the moment, but I would favour Loveness in this position with the Werfer in the build. I just think those highly vetted packs and a good push after the Werfer could really cause Nico problems, as he's quite a long way away from the IS-2 still.
Indeed, what's happening in the north? KV8 climbs to its 2nd kill. We've been given that 20 seconds of glory to some very good music made by Invader Slorge, patron and composer. But it's not really done the work, has it? The KV8 so far. The Brumbear, meanwhile, has double the kills. It has 4. Wowee. Neither's basically gone on a rampage, let's say. But speaking of rampage, we have the implement of rocket artillery. Genocide. It is indeed the Panzerwerfer.
It looks so weak. It's really one guy with a little MG and a few wheels, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't need to get into combat. It can just fire from so far away, as we see a glorious strike on the Ziz gun. Doesn't get the D-crew though. 6 models again saving that Ziz out as the 2-2 takes a bit of damage. Luckily can skip away just in time. Doesn't want to use that unit, Matt.
Oh, there's the KV8, Ed, firing through the flames there. Very nice.
True, just keeping the VPs and keeping Loveness off balance. We're trying to recapture that area as a 7-man conscript as holdout and green cover up north. Hell to push into for Loveness. But good work for Barrage there from the start. Just going to have to keep them going. And over time, when it vets up, I think that's his...
Oh, 2-2 down. We've got the Ziz gun pushing up, taking out the spy satellite there. Loveness has now had his radio silenced as the T-70 pushes in. and he's given all kinds of support. The Brumbear tries to answer it, however. Got the double pack set up, though. The KV8's looking for it. If he still had the 2-2 alive, he could have taken advantage of that. MG42 is down.
Yep, absolutely nailed that MG crew. Retreating a bit too late there was Loveness. Thought he could hold on. And like I said, just earlier with the 2-2 when it was at half damage, slight mistakes here from Loveness, not retreating all the way back into his base with a unit that prized possession of a 2-2 spot scopes of that too. Gotta mollycoddle that thing, keep it as safe as houses. Back in your base if it's damaged before you repair it.
It's like your star striker if he gets quote unquote like any abuse or insults by a rugged defender. You're like, mate, you know, get out. How dare you say? Brumbear's backed himself into a corner. Got a nice barrage there, climbing to 10 kills for the Panzerwerfer. 7-man cons are there to save the day, however. Nagano's attacking on all fronts, including the KV8 up north there.
Yeah, another MG42 crew having to be pushed away from Loveness. Might even lose it. Hella close. KV8 there just chomps through infantry like no problem.
10 kills on it as well now. Brumbear's on 8, so KV8 got going. And he's got that veteran C1, of course, so he can inspire. No, he does that already. What's his vet ability? Is it inspire infantry? I've never seen that used. What is that?
Gives them a little bit of buff when they're surrounding the tank. It's like combined arms, but KV8 little edition.
Sorry, these guys are in a massive hunk of Stalinian. How dare they say to the infantry, come on guys, get to it! Jesus Christ.
Well, I don't think they need to say anything, just toasting a load of austere troops gives the Soviets all the morale they need. But yeah, climb through those heavy hedges, no problem as well, very useful. As we just see, a bit of a repair problem here for Loveness. Doesn't have 2 pioneers, so his bombars not being able to be as aggressive as he might be. Should he have 2 pios?
Jibba Jabba Jabba, the stat master of the Master League, says that the KV8's Inspire ability gives a slight DPS and speed buff, but it's so small timing window that nobody ever really uses it, so fair enough there. Panzerwerfer, where's its orientation? It's over here. Oh, and the Ziskuns, of course, the perfect target in any game. From rank 5000 4v4 to best in the world 1 versus 1, always aim at AT guns. Sorry for ruining many a game there, but it's true.
And it's a shame the 2-2 went down as well for Loveness on another respect, because that does have a good infantry awareness ability, so it can help him with his TAC map heavy usage. But good Molotovs there from Nico, just denying the cover. This is all buying crucial little VPs in seconds, Matt, ticking away from Loveness. Must be eating away at him because he is a very VP-orientated player. Oh, as the bomber goes to the wipe, but 7-man cons again. Oh, how many wipes would you have seen if Soviets had 4-man weapon crews or 7-man? But no point saying interesting fights, I guess.
T7T is still alive on 10 kills. That recon vehicle survived longer than the 2-2, that's for certain. And here we go, the Brumbear with a triple B coming down on that MG. Meanwhile, the KV8's eating pack rounds, trying to burn out the Pioneers in the north side. We've got shock troops flanking the MG, pushing that away again.
KV8's down though, down and out. Max range shot, he's out of control.
On the T70! Packs eating their hearts out, finding an excellent angle there. That hedgerow became no more. They could attack both sides of the hedgerow edge. So the hedgerow was negated. He took 2 tanks out in quick succession.
I was wondering why Loveness wasn't killing the T70 off, but he was saving all the juice for that KV8. Blinked and oh, the high vets as he packs with their fire rate there, penned the hell out of that KV8, and he's down. But the IS-2 is going to have to pick up the pieces.
Somebody says T-Tours in chat. Certainly wasn't. The MG42 was stolen in the north, so both engagements were important, but this one ended up being much more important. Massive find there for Loveness, and 65% of you voted for him to win this game only 5 minutes ago, and I was thinking, I don't know why, but now I'm seeing it. By the way, the Panzerwerfer does have spotting scopes, so he kind of self-spots in a soft fashion, but you're never going to push him forward to look.
Spotting scopes light. Right, Diet Coke. But here we go, Bombard putting some pain on the shock troops. They did smoke and hold the VP for a little bit, but Grens are going to secure that area. We still see 4 Grenadiers with LMGs, all Vet 3 now, Matt. More stars than a top student in primary school.
He is the tank that made many a British World War II scientist think, holy crap, we have to try and counter this thing. And they were still trying to counter it well into the 1950s. The IS-2 was the heavy tank of the early Cold War. Eventually the IS-3, of course. And this thing's a badass. Well, in this game, of course, it's famously inaccurate, Ed. It's
yeah, but heavy Dushka MG, good AoE. It can bring a lot of pain to these 4-man squads of Love Nest, and I'd like to almost see a Panther now from Love Nest into maybe a command P4 if he gets the pop cap later on. But I think, yeah, he's just going to round out his build order potentially with a Panther, because it is a very good unit against the IS-2.
Smoking and poking there with the packs, but they're getting flame artilleried out of existence almost. They have to reverse away at least. So we're seeing both abilities in these mirror armies utilised there of this commander. Smoke drop and the incendiary. What a classic game we're watching, Ed. This is for the purists out there. They want to see this kind of action. This getting brought down. IS-2 going north.
It's been a tremendous give and take at the moment from both players. We've seen Nico do comparatively a lot better than Love Nest did with his Soviets. He's got to the IS-2 mode, but that he had the Love Nest Soviet brain fart moment where he lost those 2 tanks, Matt. The T-70 and KV-8. Just wonder how easily he could have closed this game out should he have those units at his disposal now. But we have to deal with what matters, and there's a lot of battle bunkers put down from Love Nest. It's cost him a bit of manpower, but saw it necessary, and hopefully now he can push forward to get the Panther and make this an absolute 50-50 game.
122mm cannon on the IS-2, known as a bunker buster, and that's exactly what it just did in the north there. 250 manpower deleted. And yeah, we have a classic game. Well, should we be expecting anything more from Tier 4? One would hope to see. We also have a very interesting option of an LEF-H18. I don't expect to see that. The Brumbear's kind of inhabiting that role, but maybe a Panther.
Yeah, it's so PopCap heavy, the left
is
side.
Is it?
I think it's still 14
what?
PopCap, yeah.
That's
not
ridiculous.
Not too helpful, so unless you're in a team game and you really need to commit to it, I don't think we'll see it here in this 1v1, but stranger things have happened. He does have the manpower and fuel for a Panther and hasn't locked one in, so who knows what Love Nest is saving for.
Oh, it's here, and it's a squad wipe on the fuel there. An interesting target. As a caster, I always go to the rocket artillery's orientation to find where it's going to land. And in that case, that was a really good one by Love Nest. He gets a full squad wipe on a 7-man con there, yeah. And Nico's left reeling.
And although, you know, people might think in chat, oh, it's just a conscript, no big worry, but those 7-man cons, Vet 3 as well, they add up, and building their own green cover can be a real nuisance. So -1 on that front for Love Nest is a great win for him, as the Panthers in the build map, and this will close out his pop cap.
Certainly will, and this will be his final army. Mine very close to that Grenadier. By the way, he's using, of course, the AT guns to destroy the sandbags. That's top-level play, and that's what they all do these days. The AT guns, first and foremost, are a sandbagged deletion service. Conscripts getting Brumbear to the face in the north. Grenadiers under duress in the south. And here's that Panzerkampfwagen 5. The Panther is here, and just look at that beauty. Let's get some more of that co-porn on the go.
Is it a heavy? Is it a medium? Nobody knows in this game.
Oh, I know what it is. It's an over-engineered medium until it's a heavy. The Germans are like, oh, this is T-34. What a tank. Let's make it twice as big.
Yeah, it does have good pen. Usually it's good accuracy on the move as well, compared to the other counterparts. So see how Love Nest can utilize it. We haven't seen many smoke bombs used by him, if at all.
Oh, this is a good one. Combat engineers on retreat. And the Vet 3 Ziscon is deleted.
See, that's
the crew members.
That's why when you asked me, I thought, well, if we can get the Werfer going, it's Love Nest game to win it. And that, we saw the wipe earlier on the conscript. They're going to add up great retreat there with the MG crew just in time, avoiding The shock troop made as the Brumbar again. He spends 30 munitions now due to the new patch mode. It's not for free, but the bunker buster and barrage definitely still a hell of a pain train to deal with for Nico.
Shock troops pushing in. Vet 3 pack in peril. Hopefully you can get past the Brumbear for Loveness' sake. And what a shot that was. 28 kills on that bad boy now. Panzerwerfer's close. He doesn't have a barrage ready. Packs need to set up. IS-2 pushes in. Misses a shot. Doing what IS-2s do best.
Does get some AoE damage still though off on the Brumbar, which is Vet 3 needs to get back for some much needed fixies, but there is the Vet 2 Pioneer squad, and I think Loveness desperately needs to get another Pioneer squad just to deal with the mechanical needs of this austere build order composition. As a Panther looks to just go bully some conscripts up north, get rid of the green cover, and eats a trip flare mine as well. So
That's
great.
perfect.
Yeah, yeah. Win-win-win for Loveness right up there, as desperately needs to get a hold of the VPs. Nip and tuck so close, and the T-34 is going to be next choice for Nico, so no Katusha map.
Interesting. Might have liked a Katusha, but I don't think they're as good as the Panzerwerfer of killing that double pack situation. The Panzerwerfer's like the best unit for annihilating the double pack setup, in my opinion. If you get it close enough, that is, you have to get that low angle spread. And that's what he's been getting. The packs have been here, the Panzerwerfer's been there, so... Well, the Zisguns, rather. So he's been good at that. Meanwhile, Panther finds the rear armour of the IS-2. Is this a misplay? Is he getting a Faust? Oh, it wasn't under 95%, I believe.
Not enough damage. But went for it anyway. Just to show it's not going to be messed around with this Loveness. And lucky there with the IS-2. There was not enough follow-up. Could have been, he was caught way out of position as the MG squad go reeling back.
Sorry.
Sorry, what?
No, sorry, God. I completely interrupt you. I'm very rude sometimes. Santa says 75%. I honestly never knew that. I think it's because medium tanks take a pounding. Like, one hit takes them to 75 and then they can get Fausted. Fair enough, fair enough. I swore it was only 5% at one point, but never mind. Maybe I should learn some stats one day, Ed. And not interrupt my co-caster as well.
That's fine. The T-34 though down south, immediate effect, pushing off MG crew. I do think this is going to be the old Panzerwerfer Hunter though, Matt. That's probably what Nico's going for. His decision making here. Does have two highly vetted engineers to insta-fix that IS-2, and yeah, people were questioning in chat. No Katusha. Bit weird flex, given that there's two Vet 3 pack 40s, could help, but I just think the T-34 is going to be used as a chaos tool to potential ram, good flanking unit with speed to go get the Panzerwerfer. So I think that was Nico's thought path there.
Loveness sensed where the support weapons were and gave them a triple B to keep them honest. MG42, he's got Efficiency 2, suppressing the shock troops with ease. T-34, exactly as Ed predicted, is going hunting. Let's have a listen to this and let's see if... Let's get an eye on Loveness' view here. I want to see if he hears the T-34 coming. This is Loveness' perspective. He's busy Panzerwerfing, so he's not listening to the T-34 that is dawning upon him. He hears where the Panzerwerfer is and is going for it. Well called by Ed, but the Panther wants him.
Oh, no. Didn't hold fire.
Does he get it?
He's going to have to shoot again.
He gets it! What a call and what an action by Nagano.
Yeah, and what a pest down. So, pest control on the old Panzerwerfer achieved there for Nico. He calls down a great incendiary barrage on the double pack 20s who are stuck together at the hip. And that's what I mean, Matt, when you keep your AT guns so close together. Very easily countered, but yeah. All hands on deck for Loveness as he squirms for some stability here in the mid. Great push there from Nico. I think hella worth for a T-34, but insta rebuild of a Panzerwerfer from Loveness. He's just got the resources, as both players have now, to replace anything they lose.
It's a 60 manpower and 5 fuel difference, so it was a sacrifice considering the veterancy. It was worth, definitely, but you know, it's not exactly the end of the world for Loveness. He can keep Panzerwerfing, it's not going to stop him.
I just feel it was a great play, worthy attempt, but the timing of it was a bit strange. You almost want to get everybody at full pop cap, then go in for that GG push, you know, where you got a lot more to back up your T-34, but then it was just a lone ranger behind the lines trying to... It got the job done, don't get me wrong, got the Panzerwerfer, but I don't think it was that much hella worth for Nico there.
There's that Brumbear with its 33 kills, 32 in a vehicle destroy rather. Bloody hell, it's doing well. We've got a weak point on the IS-2. He's got him here. He's got range. He's got a Panther. He's got a double volley. But the armor's bouncing everything at him. And he loses a Vet 3 Grenadier because of the push. Meanwhile, he's pushing elsewhere with the Brumbear. Grenadier does indeed go down. Panzerwerfer is firing.
Brumbear might go down if the Ziz connects here. Max range, but nope. Vet 3 bouncing like Beyonce's booty in the mid there. Just about get it back in time. But the Panther and the Paxmat just lacking that frontal pen on the IS-2. Keeps that honky tonk alive as a Vet 3 Pack 40 crew goes down. And this is Nico suddenly getting a good grip on this ever back and forth arm wrestle between the two greats.
It is very reminiscent of some of the classic battles we've seen between these two greats, as Ed says, and it can go very long, these games. We might need a bit of a break after this one and after the decider, if it does indeed go to a decider. Nagano is famous for his Soviet resiliency, though, and that's not as a poke at his nationality. That's as when he plays this faction in this game, he's known to just stick around like La Cucaracha. He just does not go away.
Boy,
Brumbear makes that unit go away, though. Oh my!
Permanently AFK now, that MG squad, but well held there from Loveness. Baited him in a bit with an MG war and then donked him on the head with the hammer fist of the Brumbear barraging, which is used pretty much beautifully this whole game as Loveness.
Bunker busting barrage, 30 munitions, very good ability.
Kills though, right? He could get a half century not out.
Nice work, nice work. Here we go, we've got the Panther versus IS-2. Backs away, frontal armor showing. No penetrations, why? As the IS-2 stay stationary with that Dushka ready. I love the symbol for the Dushka as well, looks so tonky.
Yeah, one thing Loveness could utilize is the command P4 here, Matt. That debuff, I know it's been nerfed, but the buff that it gives to all surrounding troops could be glorious for an all-in push. Panzerwerfer combo, Brumbear backing it up, and the Panther rushing in with that HP buff, I think would be too much for Nico to be able to concentrate fire down if there was a nice GG push from Loveness. Should he go for that bit, left field unit?
Oh dear, the Brumbear went north and the conscripts had no choice but to go south. Scripts rather. And yeah, these Grenadiers, by the way, look at them, they're on 36 kills themselves. Shock troops meanwhile on 14. Don't look at the stats. I mean, we will have a little look possibly after this assault just to check that KD. I'm assuming it's quite different, let's say.
Yeah, and I'd just love to see for variety some different units used. We'll see if Loveness goes for it, but now...
Ooh, this is a trap! He's spotting with a shock. Sorry to interrupt, Ed. He's got the Zis, and he also has the IS-2 coming in. Panther has to back away, and Loveness senses it.
Yeah, good move there from Loveness. Cautious. Oh no, his Pioneers might get rotivated by the shock troops, but no. It's a double trap, Matt.
Double trap indeed.
This gun's gone down. It's got such little HP. As the IS-2 pushes in, I think just to keep the Panther off guard and busy while he can VCap the Ziz gun. Yeah, there you go. Shock troops having to VCap. Desperate stuff here from Nico, but he holds on. And instead now puts in an Su-85 into the build.
He holds on for bitter life indeed. Gets away with that Ziz gun that was obliterated by that counter check hook from Loveness. As the Brumbear, there we go everybody. Ding ding ding, 50 kills. Half a century not out, as Ed says, and indeed he doesn't. And we have the Su-85 on its way. This game has legs, but it looks to me that Loveness has a little bit more strength than his legs right now.
Yeah, and just look at his build orders. He's up against 2 conscripts and a shock in the infantry, and now he's locking in a second MG. This is really just cautious play here from Loveness. Wants to close out, play the VP game now, and the North VP has been doing work for him since he's been able to wipe those squads with the Werfer.
Love the use of target weak point. He's just not getting the pens that he deserves from that usage, in my opinion. And the IS-2 is just so good at soaking up that damage. SU-85, of course, can't do the same. If the Pack-40s were to find it, he would have a much better time of it.
Yep, and double back still for Loveness, backed up by Bombar and Panther now. You could just sense this could be just one all-in, and it's done. I don't think SU-85 can fend this off just with one Ziz gun. It's a highly damaged IS-2, but I think the patience and the poise from Loveness will mean he doesn't go full all-in with, like Von Ivan style. As the shock troops force back, I really think this is an opportunity here for Loveness just to close out the game.
He wants to do it, Ed. He senses it, he smells it, and he gets an 18A for his troubles. SU-85, of course, is on the Isosceles Triangle of Doom mode. The spotting for itself. Panthers in peril, packs are backing him up. No Katusha. People in chat and Ed were wondering where the Katusha was. This could have been game ending for Nagano. Meanwhile, the Panthers in trouble. IS-2 with that 122mm cannon is looking for blood. Conscripts are getting wiped. Panther is also about to die, but the Brumbear's helping out, and the packs turn about face. One bounce is all he needed. Out of control goes the IS-2. Will it fire? It shouldn't do. Mirage Floor to the rescue. Porting Wolf's changes, but the crush still happens.
Oh no, get out of there, Klaus, get out of there. As finally the Pioneers retreat back, I think they could have got slowly crushed to the Brain AFK out of control IS-2, but they trade heavy tanks, and I think Loveness, that was perfect. He did a bit of a misplay with the Panther spearheading in charge, but it baited Nico in perfectly. Sometimes you need to do a bit of a fake mistake or something like that just to get that reaction out of your opponent. As a Panzerwerfer on the front line, knowing it's going to probably get blapped by the SU-85. It does, but it's just insult.
Oh, Brumbear! Good kill! Gets 67 kills now and dies itself! A hero of the Reich. Oh dear, oh dear. Just F in chat for Le Professeur of Destruction, the Brumbear. What a good tank he was. What a good Sturmpanzer, rather. Assault gun, whatever you want to call him. He was a big chunky boy.
But yeah, he's secured the triple lockdown. And unless Nico can scurry on with his one conscript remaining and get some sort of VP handling back, he does have the 3-minute cooldown for his IS-2. He will have the fuel, but it does seem now Loveness has been able to close this long game 2 out.
Nice comment by K-Pen in chat, of course. Continuing the cricket analogy as an Australian, he says that the Brumbear is making a call for leg before wicket. He doesn't say he's out, but unfortunately the burning corpses of his crew members would say otherwise. More shock troopers for Nagano. He's getting really desperate out there, and he's pushing up against an MG in campaign style. I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately, for him. I think Loveness is taking this to a deciding ace game on Snowmanville Winter, the snowy Feynmanville.
Great stuff, yeah. A flip reverse or potential change of factions as well, so a lot to look forward to, but to see how Loveness makes sure and definitely kills off Nagano here. You mentioned his resolve as Soviets earlier. It's definitely above normal. Most people would have called GG by now, but Nico just wants to scrap for any VP that he can to help towards that faction pick, it seems.
There you go, there's Loveness best units, the Pack 40, with a 2v2 team in damage. Pretty nice. Let's check out Nagano. Mine goes off, but it's I'm being a little bit unfaithful there to Nagano. Let's just double check. I think he's definitely dead, Ed.
Yeah, yeah, he will not be able to decap in time, just about, and Grenz are going to make sure of it. GG, well played to both.
GG, well played. And just as I said I will just look at the Zis guns with and the IS-2 Demolisher, and yeah, it was basically a GG, wasn't it? It was a very good game. Well played. We are going to deciding ace game after a 15-minute break. Thank you, and see you on the flip side. live.
mate.
I'm getting into the habit of telling Ed that we're live and becoming a nice friend and co-caster.
I'm just lamenting away with some bullshit story, and Matt finally brings me back on course in between the games. But well played from both players there as we look to head into a much deserved break for them. I think game 2 would have taken a lot out of both players. Just like yesterday, we'll see how Loveness can conjure up the brain juice for game 3 as Nico took him all the way there to the very end. That was some sheer resilience there after he lost the KV8 and T70 in a big crushing blow of the double pack 40s from Loveness. I thought it was basically game over then, but he still tried his hand and pushed to the very end, did Nico there? So respect. And yeah, Matt, who's your money on then to win game 3 and take the series?
Well, I know Nagano has the VPs from Mr. Sturm Tiger Gaddafi. Not only is he a mega tourney donator over the years, he's also a referee. So he gets choice. I've said to the players, take a 10-minute break. I think that's wise. Want to see a good deciding ace game. Want to pace everything today. Don't need to rush too much. We've got a Silder versus Seeking later, so both guys can, go for the distance. I've got no Koreans that'll be playing at 5 million o'clock in the morning. The second series starts after a 15 break following this one. 2 TY. And then the next series, there'll be a 15-minute break after this next game. So we're going to have a 10-minute break now, lads, and possible ladies. And then we're going to watch the deciding ace game. Don't laugh, Ed.
No, I just asked for a dance. How much? $20, tubuku.
God, I can't think of anything cringier than if Ed and I were to have an on-stream dance-off.
I could get my full metal jacket out and do anything for $5. But now I'm joking. Kubrick aside, yeah, let's have a little deserved break, Matt, and refuel with that G Fuel. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Give me that caffeine. Let's go. Today's sponsors, everybody, are Nuclear Nerd Energy. Irradiate that liver, bro.
E numbers.
You want to up your KD and lower your lifespan. Let's get it on. Engage. Come on. Here we go.
Here for a good time, not a long time.
All right, dudes. See you in 10. Bye-bye.